Chapter 10 Verbs. A verb is a word which tells and asserts something about a person or thing in a state of doing something, or being acted upon. Verbs, kinds. We have two types of verbs. Transitive verb. Some verbs need objects to complete their sense. They are known as transitive verbs. Read the following sentences. The child drank. What? Mohini writes. What to whom? The above sentences do not appear to be complete. Let's read them again. The child drank milk. Mohini writes a letter to her mother. We have added objects to these sentences. Now they have complete sense. In a transitive verb, the action passes from subject to object, that is, the object receives the action of the subject. Object. Generally, a sentence has one object, but it can have two or more objects too. In a sentence, we can find out the object by asking what or to whom. For example, Granny tells Shakti a story. Ask, what does Granny tell? The answer is a story. Again ask, to whom does Granny tell? The answer is Shakti. Thus, we find that a story and Shakti are objects in this sentence. Objects are of two kinds. Indirect objects. They include all living nouns and personal pronouns of the predicate. Direct objects. They include all nouns of the predicate excepting the indirect objects. The answer to what is the direct object and the answer to whom is the indirect object. Read the following sentences. The teacher told us the solution. An old man gave her a small toy. In these sentences, the direct objects are the solution and a small toy, and the indirect objects are us and her. Intransitive verb. Some verbs do not need an object to complete their sense. They are called intransitive verbs. Read the following sentences. The aeroplane was flying. Raman laughed loudly. The verbs in these sentences do not require objects, so they are intransitive verbs. Points to remember. Some verbs can be transitive as well as intransitive. For example, the kite flew in the sky. Intransitive. A boy flew the kite. Transitive. A star shines in the sky. Intransitive. A student shone her shoes. Transitive. Some verbs need not objects but some other words to complete their sense. These words are called complement. This type of verb is called a linking verb. Read the following sentences. The girl is beautiful. Anish was a teacher. That dog is clever. The apple appears ripe. Read some common linking verbs. Is, am, are, was, were, seen, taste, sound, appear, look, etc. Main verbs and helping verbs. We can divide a verb into two kinds. Main verb and helping verb. Main verb. In a sentence, the main verb is the transitive or intransitive verb. It performs the main function of a sentence. Read the following sentences. Rahul goes to school. Renu cooked food. Helping verb. In a sentence, some words are needed to enable a main verb to express its proper sense. Such words are called helping verbs. Read the following sentences. Some boys are playing in the ground. A woman has bought a bottle of milk. They will have eaten their food by now. In the first sentence above, playing is the main verb while are is helping it to express its proper sense. So, are is the helping verb. In other sentences, the main verbs are bought and eaten while their respective helping verbs are has and will have. The helping verbs are also known as modal auxiliaries. Read some common helping verbs. Is, am, are, can, could, did, do, does, had been, might, must, ought, was, were, will, should, shall have been, will have been, would. Helping verbs help to form interrogative sentences. Look at the two groups of sentences below. Positive sentences, interrogative sentences. I am going to school. Am I going to school? She has finished her work. Has she finished her work? He can lift this box. Can he lift this box? We must go now. Must we go now? You can see that we have brought helping verbs at the beginning of the sentences to change them into interrogative sentences. So, we have three kinds of verbs. Verbs, transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, linking verbs. Points to remember. An interrogative word, what, where, when, how, which, who, etc. are put at the beginning of an interrogative sentence. For example, where am I going? When has she finished her work? Points to remember. Some helping verbs can also function as the main verb. She is a singer, main verb. She is singing a song, helping verb. Uncle has a new shirt, main verb. Uncle has torn his new shirt, helping verb.